Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the IGC Coaching School YouTube channel. I am Liv Chapman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of IGC, and we spend most of our time on this channel talking about two things. One, how to be an amazing coach, certified coach, credentialed coach, and the other half of the time talking about how to run a profitable coaching business. In our last episode, which I will link here, we talked about the qualities that make an excellent coach. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the qualities that make an excellent entrepreneur or coaching business owner. They are not all the same. Obviously, if you're going to have a coaching business, you need to be a great coach and have a great product or offer, or obviously be a good service provider in order to have a successful coaching business. But there's also qualities that individuals have or can grow into or can practice or exercise that make them excellent business owners or entrepreneurs. So I want to dive into those today. I'm going to go through the top 5. I'm going to start with the 5th and go down to the number 1. It's funny because I did a ton of research on this. There's so much research on this if you're ever interested. And I also did some research within our community. So we have trained and certified thousands of professionally credentialed coaches at this point. I don't necessarily say life coaches because our coaches niche in a variety of different specialties. We have career coaches, business coaches, marketing coaches, executive coaches, health coaches. What else? We have relationship coaches, all these different niches and then sub niches within there. The certification that we offer is a professional coaching certification through the ICF, which can get you your ACC or like level 1 credential or your PCC or level 2 credential. And then from thousands of women who have graduated, some of them go on to have coaching businesses and some of them go on to be employed as coaches. Others have a hybrid type of model where they're maybe contracted as a coach for a different organization. They also take private one-on-one clients or have group coaching programs. And we surveyed them and we asked them what their top personality trait is or way of being that they credit their success to. And our number 1 answer was the exact number 1 answer that we also got from our research on, Forbes and Business Insider and, research basically on entrepreneurship, not just in coaching, but across the board. So it wasn't just like the ICF or International Coach Federation research, but surveying small business owners in basically any type of business, they still had these personality traits or characteristics. So number 5, emotional intelligence, or what we have also heard of as EQ. There's actually a whole book about this, but a strong emotional intelligence was the 5th most popular sign or trait of a successful entrepreneur. Why emotional intelligence? Well, if you know anything about emotional intelligence or EQ, it helps you manage relationships better. It helps you, I would say self-awareness is key and handling stress, able to have empathy or even sympathy if needed, but having this emotional intelligence to really be able to tap in and connect with people. In any single business, no matter what you're selling, you are offering a solution to someone's problem. There's always someone that is going to need that solution, right? So you're going to be interfacing with other humans, and having this EQ or a high EQ is going to impact how you build relationships. And we know that building relationships in business is key to success. Obviously, if you're also running a company where you're managing people, or not even just interacting with customers or clients, but interacting with employees or team members or contractors, having a high EQ is proven to create a more positive company culture and also increase the longevity of those contractors or employees, which we all know. If you don't know, as business owners, keeping our employees or contractors or team members engaged is very important. Not just because you'll get a bad rating on Glassdoor, but because it's important for your company to survive and thrive. All right. And now, kind of second to that relationship building component is networking abilities or being a savvy networker. That is also key. And that was one of our top results in the IGC community survey too. But being a great networker, so being able to build strong professional connections, being able to put yourself out there, super high indicator of success as an entrepreneur. You have to know how to make connections with people. You have to be willing to not only like offer your services, but network with others, perhaps seeking mentorship or business partnerships, or, in IGC, we say work for yourself, not by yourself, but there's so much energy and innovation, inspiration, education that you can get from connecting with others. It's not just about you moving your business forward strategically, but also creating partnerships and relationships that drive you, that keep you going, that keep you innovative, and ultimately like creating these collaborations that grow your business in some way, shape, or form. So in IGC, we do have a free, open to anyone monthly networking group that we put together every single month. We always switch up the day and time, so it can be available to more people. If you go to innerglowcircle.com/events, you will be able to see the date of our upcoming networking event. It's fully open. You don't have to be a member of IGC, but you can come network with other coaches. There's people who are thinking about becoming coaches, coaching as a career. So people who are doing coaching in their corporate jobs. We also have a ton of coaching business owners who are there to make connections, potentially new brand partners or collaborators. Or one of the things, like I've said, is work for yourself, not by yourself in IGC. So we often have these kind of like groups or pods forming where they're willing to share each other's work. So you can like mutually grow your followings or your online communities, all of that. So that is number 4. That is one of the keys to being a successful entrepreneur, is not only having the ability to network, but it also takes some desire. Because if anyone knows, especially if you're working for yourself from home, it can be lonely. So you have to have that thing in you that's like, I need to get out there. I need to go connect with others. It's going to bring you back to being, and it's going to give you that, invigorating feeling to keep things going. Number 3, which I guess I would have thought was number 1, but it's number 3 for strictly women business owners. So it actually is number 1. And that is confidence. So in order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to practice, exercise, or grow in your confidence. So in your abilities to make decisions, to take risks, to make bold moves, or even be able to speak about yourself and your business. I don't know how many people come to me and they're like, I feel like I have imposter syndrome, or I don't want to post about my business because I don't know what people will think or say. That is a muscle that can build. I think I have gone through phases of imposter syndrome multiple times over the course of the last decade in business. Every growth edge is a new opportunity for our survival mechanism, or this feeling of being unworthy or not good enough, to rear its ugly head. Okay. It's just something that the more you also counter that with practicing confidence, it's easier to go away. It's easier to deal with. It's almost expected. There is a quote that I've heard before that says, if you really want to become more confident, you have to invite your fears and sit down and have a cup of tea with them. And I think it's kind of like that. Like you have to get to this point where your fear or your survival mechanism or your self-doubt or whatever, however it shows up, almost becomes like, oh, of course you're here. Nice to see you again. Great. Thank you for sharing, but I'm going to sub you out till you go sit on the bench for this round, and I'm going to bring in confidence. Okay. And you can grow that. It takes practice. It takes a lot of commitment. The very first lesson that any of our students receive when they first enter any of our certification programs is called CEO level confidence, where you're actually guided through this entire workbook to extract all of the best parts of yourselves and shut out all the ones that don't really need a seat at the table when the table is like a boardroom. Okay. Or business meeting. Okay. So we really, really, really want to practice confidence as often as we can. It's going to get easier as you grow. And one of the things that we also stand by in IGC is this idea of proof-based or evidence-based confidence. Affirmations get you so far. Having proof of your abilities and seeing your abilities in action is going to drive it on home. Okay. So that's why all of our programs, are kinesthetic learning or learning through experience, but also we are drawing on all of your personal experiences, your past professional experiences, things you've been acknowledged for, awards, certification, recognition, evidence of these, great things that you've done. That is what we're collecting in this confidence exercise to show you that, like, yes, you've got it. You've done the thing. And these same ways of being that got you this far are going to get you to the next level in your business. Okay. So number 3 is confidence. That is definitely one that you can work on and grow. Number 2, the second most needed or required personality trait or characteristic of a successful business owner or entrepreneur is to have a vision, to lead from that vision. You are a visionary. We have some IGC merch that says your vision is confirmation of possibility. And that's the energy that a true entrepreneur has. They are not just fly by the seat of their pants every day. They have a strong vision, and that is driving the decisions they make. It's driving the action that they take, the connections that they make, the conversations that they have, the way that they show up to a phone call or an email or a DM or anything that they create. It's coming from that vision and it's being led by action. Okay. So you have to have that vision. Again, this is another thing that you can do or implement now. If you're like, oh, like this seems to be a gap. Like maybe you're like, I love networking and I'm very emotionally intelligent and I mostly am confident, and you're like lacking here. This is also something that you can define. If you need a tool to help you get clear on that, you can download our business plan template. I'll link it in the notes below. It's innerglowcircle.com/plan. This has you really outline your company's mission, your vision, your values. That is going to be the thing for your business. But I also recommend going a step further and really outlining your vision for your life. Maybe you want to do this in a beautiful vision board, or maybe it's, in one of the masterminds that I'm in, we have to, we write it all out. Like, it says something like, on September 1st, 2025, I am waking up in my new home, and like however you do it. And then we record the audio, and our commitment is that we listen to it every day. It's like 2 minutes. But that can be a great thing too for your personal vision, because some days, and most days, I will say this from experience, it is not about the number in the bank account. It is not about how much money your business is making. It is about what your business allows for your life. So no one is looking at a number on the screen and feeling, I mean, I guess there's some of that does feel pretty good, but it's about what that money does for you. Does it give you peace? Does it allow you to live in a beautiful home with your family? Does it allow you to, sign your kids up for whatever extracurricular activities? Does it allow you to go on tropical vacations or have beautiful investments or buy your mom a car? Or what are those things that you really want your business to feed? That's more of your personal vision. And you cannot not have that. Okay. And that's going to keep you inspired, like on those crappy days, which we're always going to have. We're always going to have. So you want to have that vision and you want to lead from that. And how does that look as a great leader and entrepreneur? It looks like straight up asking yourself, sometimes on a daily basis, like, is this thing that I'm about to do or say or decision that I'm about to make, does this align to my vision? And being strong and confident enough to make a decision that does. Okay. And now the number 1 character trait, personality, whatever you want to call it, of a successful entrepreneur, drumroll please, resilience. Resilience or grit. I keep thinking about this meme where it's like, I'm so sick of being called resilient. And the truth is, yeah, many of you may be watching this and feeling like, great. But also many of you are going to be watching this and being like, yeah, I am extremely resilient, and I have been my whole life. And I'm like, good. Then entrepreneurship is just your next best step. So grit or resilience, this is like just your ability to bounce back from setbacks, your ability to keep going when everybody else wants to quit, your ability to say like, I can handle a challenge, even if it means like crying in the back of your closet for 5 minutes or having a full-on temper tantrum for a few minutes. That is part of it sometimes. But it's still your ability to say like, I'm going to throw a fit for a minute, but then I'm going to get back up and I'm going to fix the problem. Or I'm going to find a way out of this. Or I'm going to strategize. I'm going to get creative. This also goes in this whole thing that I think I have multiple videos on, but are you a creator or are you a complainer? Okay. Because resilient, gritty people, you may complain about something for a couple minutes, but that's not your MO. You know, that's not going to solve the problem. So you're going to get back to it. You're going to start creating. You're going to find the solution. Okay. People who are able to do this, who are able to bounce back quickly from a setback, are going to be successful in almost anything. If you haven't read Angela Duckworth's book, Grit, she also has a great YouTube video on this. Highly, highly recommend. I read this book for the first time when I was a public school teacher because it comes down to those things like what is going on that kids can come from seemingly similar situations or family structures or be in the same school learning the same thing and they're not getting the same results. And it's not all because of different learning abilities or income levels at all. There is this identifier, which she calls grit, which is comparable to resilience. That really is the thing that no matter where you come from, if you have this and you grow in this, there's actually some type of survey or self-assessment you can do inside of the book to rate, see where you rate on the grit scale. And you can actually also grow in your resilience and your ability to bounce back as well. So that is number one. And when we surveyed our students, this was also number one for them. So that really just drives it home, especially for women entrepreneurs and women thinking about starting and growing a coaching business. I would say that I don't know necessarily, I can't pinpoint one exact thing in my life that has helped me become more resilient or built my grit or my ability to be with challenges. This is not funny. However, we often do joke that like a lot of the women who come to coaching have had some bad stuff happen and we're just like never going to let that stop us. And it becomes this whole theme of like, this is not a joke, but like what childhood trauma brought you to coaching? And I mean, it is often something that plays a role. Like we can either become, that can be our identifier, or our identifier can be like, I'm going to be the person that got over this. I'm going to be the person that got through this. I don't know how many women in this space have come to me and said, I'm the first millionaire in my family. I'm the first entrepreneur in my family. I'm the first six-figure earner in my family. I am the first person to start a successful business. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. I'm the first person in my family to quit my 9-to-5. There's so many of these waymakers that have had crappy life experiences that didn't take them out. And I don't mean that you don't take time off, and I don't mean that you don't have time to grieve. I was just telling someone earlier today, I was like, I think I took like a whole month off when I went through his personal breakdown. And I don't mean that we don't honor those experiences and take time to be with them and heal from them and go to therapy as needed or hire our own coaches as needed and all of that. But if we know one thing as successful entrepreneurs, it is that the only way to fail is to quit. And if you have resilience and you have grit, quitting is not an option. So there we have it. We need to be emotionally intelligent. We need to be network savvy. We need to have a vision. Okay. And I missed confidence. We need to have confidence. We need to have a vision, and we need to be resilient. If any of that is you, or if you are committed to growing in any of those places, I highly recommend checking out some of the links in the caption here. Like this video, share it with someone you know that would make an amazing entrepreneur. And ultimately, just think about these 5 things when you're getting to work each day. Like, how can I become more confident in my actions? How can I make decisions that align with my vision? How can I grow my network? Link to that below. How can I increase my emotional intelligence? There are so many tools available to you, but that number one thing, resilience, is like the only way your business fails is if you quit and you don't focus on these things that matter. And that's unworthy of you, so it's not going to happen. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this research perhaps opened your eyes or showed you that maybe you do have all of these qualities and you are meant to be successful, and this is your path and is your plan. I would love to hear in the comments which ones you resonate with. And again, if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe and share it with someone who also needs to hear this message. All right. I'll see you next time.